The Rockwood 8263MBR has long been one of my favorite floor plans, but it is long, heavy, and very expensive. So they just came out with a smaller version of it. It's going to be a lot more towable and accessible. And I haven't seen anything fly off the shelves like this before. Just pause at this clip to see a quick breakdown of the differences, but we're going to look at them side by side. So this is a smaller version, and it really looks quite a bit the same, just everything slightly smaller. Like the appliances are more camper sized, where the other one is more residential. We've still got soft close and residential hinges on all of our cabinets, and this gorgeous front window. We also have solid surface countertops still. So this kitchen is really awesome, but it actually isn't my favorite part. We have lots to see in the bedroom and the kitchen still as well. They both have the same refrigerator and theater seat. I can get this with the sofa bed if you'd like. And then this closet's a little bit different in each one. So this is the smaller one. So in our larger 8263 MBR, you see same refrigerator, same theater seat, but it is over 7 feet in here. It's super comfortable if you're really tall. Like you are definitely going to be able to stand up in the shower on this one. The wood feels a little bit more fancy in here, but they're both hardwood. And these appliances are so nice. They are residential sized. And then if you need to play cards, this chair pulls around pretty nicely to the other side of this countertop so you can easily face each other and have what you feel like is more of a traditional table. On the larger 8263, we can remove that shelf and turn that into a coat closet. So that was the front room. Let's go into the bedroom. So we're back to the smaller version, the 2523 MBR. We've got a queen bed slide. I really like this open space. If you have pets, there's plenty of room for them to lay. And anything that's going to be load bearing is going to be framed in aluminum on all of the Rockwoods. And I like having this nice window in your bedroom. Both are going to have this washer dryer space, or you could use it for a nice wardrobe. Now we're back to the king bed on the 8263 MBR. It's nice to have a king bed in a smaller, relatively small travel trailer. There are bigger ones out there. A similar amount of storage, same washer dryer. They did add a mirror here, which is kind of nice. And then we're going to move over to the bathroom. So we're back to the smaller one. Just a pretty traditional bathroom. It is nice to have a rear bath. You get plenty of room to stand. And I like having a window. Got some storage. Rockwood always gives us max air fans. But in the bigger bathroom, it is just really, really special. It's got a huge residential shower and a dual vanity. We've still got our window, but tons of counter space and storage. So as you can see, they are both super awesome. They just sort of serve different purposes. And I'm really glad that it came out with a smaller version of the 8263 MBR because it suits so many people's needs out here in the West when we have a lot of national parks and you want this really nice layout, but you want to fit and get a really nice view. A few key differences on the outside. So I really appreciate Rockwood's fiberglass front caps. They do a lot of things to keep things structurally sound and square, and the fiberglass cap helps with that. What also helps is the torsion axle that both of these campers have. That gives you 3 inches of independent movement between the tires, which feels better towing, but it's keeping the camper from getting as jostled around. So these look really good when you come in on trade because your seams and seals aren't getting as jostled. It is uncommon to have the electric stabilizers that the smaller one has, but it is very luxurious to have the electric leveling, auto leveling that the larger Rockwood has. And those red caps in there are anti-lock brakes with sway mitigation. You're going to feel a lot safer on a slippery or wet road, and you might maybe travel an extra day when otherwise you might have to pull over and wait for the weather to clear up. They both have this storage, which I like to recommend either for golf clubs or fishing poles, whatever your flavor. And they both have this storage under the bed as well. So let's just take a second and summarize some of the differences. There's about a $15,000 to $20,000 difference in price, and the 8263 MBR is 4 feet longer. They're both under 30, so they will fit in a lot of national parks, but you'll fit in more on the smaller one. They're both very tall inside, but if you are also very tall, the extra 4 inches can make a big difference. And the 1,500 pounds lighter weight can also be easier to tow if you're climbing mountains. They both have a lot of easy to use features like the power stabilizers, but auto leveling if you're retired and tired of just dealing with bending over and doing more chores. The 8263 adds a touch of luxury. And of course, you can't forget the king bed, and the anti-lock brakes are a little extra safety. They both do offer towable features like the torsion axle. So the torsion axle gives you 3 inches of independent movement between the tires. And then they also both include tire pressure monitors for safety. They're both well insulated with heated holding tanks. And I really appreciate that Rockwoods includes the solar and inverter standard. I'd like to briefly explain what the inverter does for you. Without an inverter, your battery will not run your outlets. So you can wake up in the morning, turn on a switch, and start your coffee pot without having to turn on a generator and wake up your wife and your neighbors. The inverter is quiet, clean power that will run your outlets without a generator or being plugged in. Washer dryer prep. Rockwood always gives us 30-pound propane tanks. And the shower miser water saving system is basically a hot water recycler. It won't spit out hot water till it's hot, so you're not draining your tank to wait for it to warm up. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this helped give you an idea on what you're looking at. And I love both these layouts, but man, customers are really enjoying the smaller version that they just came out with.